Good morning from New York. Today's topic, comfort zone of your inner self and a more rational view of politics. A lot could be understood in politics if we understood people's comfort zone. It's how they're, what comforts them, what helps them feel better. Their niche, their survival niche. And that's a combination of a lot of things. And, what you're used to. And people feel threatened if they're moved out of their comfort. And that's a lot of what we're seeing right now. MAGA. By the way, there will be a recording today. The great political organizer, leader, Demond, will be on a Zoom call that will be some today, so it'll be recorded at around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So you can look forward to that. And report the sound quality videos. Hearing always like to see that in the notes. I'm working on this end with inferior equipment, doing the best I can. Comfort zone, yeah. A white Christian nation. That's what you're hearing from the MAGA. Well, that's how they perceived things to be in the past. And they felt they were in power and in control with their viewpoints. And those viewpoints, have been moved, and people are not going along with now as much, and so and a lot of it has to do with education. So animosity toward education that's it's moving them out of their comfort zone. And you're going to talk about moving people out of their comfort zone. You've got to understand to where. Well, there are three things that we teach on this channel, and in terms of communication with one another. And that's three forms of empathy. You're trying to be empathetic with somebody and find common ground, and you aren't challenging their comfort zones quite so strongly. But nevertheless, expanding that comfort zone is important to better politics and to people getting along. And those three forms of empathy that are so important are creative, where that attempt to be creatively empathetic, the way of artfully expressing things and from different points of view. And so at the same time that, it can be comforting, it's also moving people out of their comfort zone. So, and teaching them how to have a broader view and a new comfort, moving from one comfort zone to a more one that with some expanded empathy. And that expansion of empathy is creative, objective, passionate. And, the objective empathy is, you see Maga getting really upset. More objective sorts of views, more scientific points of view, which of course blow a lot of religious beliefs right out of the water, and makes people uncomfortable. We're getting their comfort from that. So that help you understand what's going on there. It's all about feeling. Feelings are your energy. Rationally speaking, that's what's inside you. You can express your feelings. See how someone else is the experience of a feeling, something where you're experiencing, you would view as inside you. That's your inner self. Rationally speaking, your feeling. You are your feeling. In a big way. And core. But I call that core the kid. Dramatics. Your kid needs a certain amount of comfort. Moving from one comfort zone to another can be tricky, and it can be, and it can be time consuming. Take a while. Society itself changes very slowly. The challenges that are coming at us are demanding to have greater creativity and passion and objectivity, and coping with the stresses that we are encountering as society. How do you say that compassion expands? Without a feeling of, the whole world, especially our species, family. So, when you expand in that way, you see how things are interrelated. You see everything needs to have its needs met and going on. You expand your passion and empathy. You care about nature. You care about species. That's hard for people to grow into that, and that's spirituality. From these comfort zones, these forms of empathy, activity gives you truth, and passion gives you goodness, virtue, goodness, and creativity gives you the virtue. See the beauty in things. It's, no matter what's going on, to find a way to enjoy the view and vicariously, in a sense, and do something about the situation. And now I've been a mythology. I call your creative perspective your inner artist, which can create memories, experiences for yourself, then your inner mind, like experiences for other people, movies, the media, and it in this mythology, artist is above your timeline, story of your life. See it. See the movie that is your life. And you in it is the main character, and of course it calls you to your higher comfort zone, to higher spirituality, more virtuous, more expanded in terms of creativity, objectivity, and passion. So it's a very simple kind of thing to take a look at. Now, what causes some people to have a lot more trouble moving into a greater comfort zone is damaged faith and love, expressed as noted as complex PTSD, about things that you needed to grow. You were being blocked, disrupted. And so, therefore, it's also something that typically happens, greater impact in your childhood. Also noteworthy that brain doesn't completely develop until around 25 years of age. So that's kind of a childhood, emotional, let's see, in terms of a comfort zone. A bit more childlike. They say people in their 20s, they're more like a teenager. They a 35-year-old adult. So that's CPTSD, and PTSD is just, your friend just got blown to bits next to you or something. So it's just an immediate, it's like an attack, not a blockage or something that, got in the way. It's an attack on your person, and that's a little different. But it's still damaged faith and love, and the damage to the love flow. So you want to improve the love flow. Well, you're improving your spirituality. You're expanding your comfort. The love flow is all about meeting human need. The efficiency of that, and so that's politically, you can see this um, in the institutions of society, where you have government, which is more about using objectivity and to be, not that it isn't influenced. In all of these things I'm saying, you can't separate all of these ways of meeting needs completely. That would be an illusion. Because people have all those abilities, so any institution's going to have them. But it's the emphasis, the main point, purpose. Government is more about setting up laws, objective approach to the problem, helping you move from the present going forward, and of course, business or trade is like the kid in you, dramatic self, the point where it's more survival. The point, and it's more intense situation. So you trade in order to survive. And everybody's part of this institution, business, one way or another. And it needs education. Government also needs education from the media, which is more about a creative, multi-perspective approach to things. It needs that, and artful way of putting all of that together so that in some sense able to find some joy and even in harsh circumstances. And compassion. That institution, well, legally tends to be at least some kind of extended family and tax exempt organization. We recognize the importance of that institution. Is all, often our extended families are, some form of church, because that's, our roots in this country would call it that. That includes, though, legally, it's, any extended family organization. That's where that's the main purpose is to have compassion and to help people feel comfortable and be more loving. And so that's your temples and mosques. It's society becomes more truly spiritual. It leaves more religious types of approaches behind, because the greater comfort zone or spiritual comfort zone includes all of these perspectives working. They need each other. So that kind of compassion, it's more about it's about the present, but it's also your roots into the past from which you get your main sorts of feeling of compassion and grounding. So, yeah, that's very necessary. It's a part of yourself that, you know, I would call it a dialogue between it and you, your dramatic self. Your inner caregiver. Yeah. So it's more about directly about meeting needs and this, and in the sense of an extended family. Um, with the purpose of creating greater compassion, which I say that religion gets in the way of, but very limited. This is a comfort zone. The more spiritual you become, you know, the less religious you become. And that's where the religions can work together. You know, when there's a crisis and everything, jump in to help, and they work right side by side. So it's about taking care of, you know, essential survival needs in an extended family type situation. So it's, whereas government is and, you know, and I call that your council. It's more about the present, looking into the future. There's caregiver, and your passion is more about the present and mining the past for the good in it. You see, we have two political parties, and one is more about the past and hanging on to some value at home. And on the other side, you see people wanting to advance a greater compassion, but you know, a greater objectivity in dealing with human needs. And so it's a little different. The media, that's your far left, concerned more about history and its value, standards of the time that were. It's more about path, the right wing. The right wing and the left wing should be working together. Torn apart, then you have a problem in terms of society growing, expanding spiritually. So, hate is not a family value. Creativity, that's usually something that they contribute to. It's not so much about things past standards that work, so on, about taking new viewpoints on things, looking at things from a lot of different perspectives, and creating art, using art for dealing with life. Oh. It seems to, you know, be more in the camp of the political left. But not necessarily so. You can take and be creative with values that have worked here. You know, the things you love there. So it doesn't have to be. But that creative, you know, that's where you imagine what you imagine to be true. And so it's your higher power. Rational terms, it's imaginer of all you imagine, though, that's your brain. And it the higher power because it helps you to reimagine how you see things and to create art, to exercise art. So, and that's what the media does. It tends to pull together a lot of different perspectives where they and politically they try to balance the left and the right. Sometimes said under the force of damaged faith and love or trauma, people retreat back and more into themselves, and that can be when they narrow their views, how they imagine. That's a problem, and when you're doing that, like you know, the balance, you know, the fair and equal attempts by the media are constrained because if one side goes completely off the rails, like with Trump, you know, that's pretty hard to do. I mean, you know, you can't have equal time to total baloney. There has to be some reasonable. So, yeah. So how do you grow politically? Help organize politically well. Great Mike Ralla help us with that, and that'll be a Zoom meeting, which we be a video on this channel. Yeah. The channel needs a lot of help from a lot of people. As part of the love flow. Eventually, you know, be monetized, and you know, the love flow means not just giving but receiving, and receiving but giving. And if you believe that, you understand that, you know, you're going, well, if people are just receiving and not giving, they feel bad. You know, nobody wants to feel like they've got nothing to offer. The basic faith in humanity tends to be eroded by trauma. Yeah. So in our channel, we're gonna do our best to apply this more rational spirituality the problems that we're having, and that's a political effort too. And it's all about organizing and doing a good job of that. So, how can you be involved? Oh, well, right now we're not set up donation, but you can subscribe to the channel. You can share the videos, and then you're kind of part of the team. You can attend Zoom meetings. Will hopefully be more common than just a talking head, but and contribute in that way. Technical advice and other sorts of things, are also helpful. So keep the love flow going. I think enough for today. I try to do all of this because I see it's necessary for human survival that we do better and we love one another and love the world, care of it. So, or we won't be around if we don't do that. So that's why I'm so dedicated to this. Here when I'm tired, putting out videos that are in technical terms not high quality. That's why I'm so dedicated to this, and I hope you will be too. Making a big splash. Involved early. And other channels, if work with us, we're there. And right now, we have threat to democracy itself, in the form of Trump, people he's fooled. So we've got to make sure that this guy doesn't become the leader of free world. It wouldn't be the leader of the free world anymore. That guy in charge. But yeah, we would set us a lot. It'd be very hard to recover if he were to win the presidency. The less spiritual in us, in terms of these the comfort zone of greater creativity, objectivity, and compassion blown apart, and those are necessary for an effective democracy. So love one another, take care of yourself, those you care about, try to care about more. This takes energy, and it takes time to grow. I hope we'll grow together in an even greater world. Oh, by the way, if you're in another nation, same thing. We can be a voice for all nations here. So let's consider that. This is about bringing people together. What the channel is about, bringing people together by expanding our comfort zone. embracing greater creativity, compassion, and objectivity. And you see a lot of recent objectivity being done very artfully in Star Talk. You know, if you haven't seen that, you really need to see that with that channel. But you know, you have a special affinity to this approach. Some of your support here. Stay tuned, and there's this thing about singing, and it's a bit of a joke that I sing at the end. Because, by the way, you know, we sound better in the shower, sound better in a group, we sound better in our own head ourselves. Then if you record, if I record my voice, that's terrible singing. You know? So it's like a kind of kidding thing that I do, and but it's at the same time I'm just I care about you. So it's this old Irish blessing, and it's pushing it on you, like, reminds me of a famous comedian who played the violin, Jack Benny. He made it. It was part of the joke, was he played so bad. So there you go with my bad singing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be all your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your field. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand, or his hand. Definitely in the hand of your higher power. Anyway, that's the message today. Hope you have enjoyed it despite the poor technical sound. So, you. So again, please subscribe, help the channel, you know, become part of the team. Share the video. Join some of our Zoom meetings, which we'll try to set that up. And give voice to more people, because therein lies the art activity. Be involved as you can. Oh, we can't really receive your any money, and set that up properly and ethically, so you know that what it helps do. Yeah, and maybe even pay some of the people who are going to be, I guess, rising stars or whatever, the channel, their time. Yes. Hey. Anyway, that's so. I like to say the word namaste at the end of my videos. That's my honoring of that love flow that includes us all. Namaste, and make a great day. Into your higher power. Namaste.